It's story time. Before I start the story, I would like to share with you tip of the day on how to retell a story. Children, it is important to keep these important points when you retell a story. What is the story about? Where does it take place? What happens in the story? After this, the important events in the story, that is beginning, middle, end. And lastly, the lesson learned. So now it's time to continue the story in Androcles and the lion and find out what happened after they became good friends. Androcles was walking in the forest when he was captured by some Roman soldiers who were hunting wild animals. Alas, they told him that he would be put to death and that he would be torn to pieces by a lion. On the day that he was to die, many people went to the great Colosseum to watch the terrible sight. The emperor was there and he was seated on a high throne. When all was ready, Androcles was left alone in the middle of the circus. Soon a loud roar was heard as a huge hungry lion was let loose. The animal with red, angry eyes and wide open jaws bounded swiftly towards the lonely slave in the middle of the Colosseum. Everyone expected it to spring upon the man and crush him with a mighty blow from its paw. Suddenly, when only a few feet away from poor Androcles, it stopped and sniffed the air. The people were silent. They had never seen anything like this before. The lion went slowly forward, wagged its tail, and rubbed its head against him, just like a pet cat at home. Androcles knew at once that it was his old friend who had lived with him in the cave. The people were amazed at the strange sight, and the emperor sent for Androcles. When the slave told him the wonderful story, the king was so pleased that he set him free and gave him the lion as a present. For many years, Androcles kept the lion as a pet, and they were always together. Everyone knew their story and smiled or waved as they passed. The lion followed his master everywhere he went, and at night the faithful animal slept outside his door. Now, children, I would retell this story in my own words, just to give you an idea on how can we retell a story. Androcles was a Greek slave. His cruel master treated him badly. One day, he ran away from his master's house to a forest. He saw that a lion was crying due to pain. Androcles went near the lion and found a thorn in the lion's paw. He took out the thorn. After a few months, the king's soldiers caught Androcles, and the king ordered to throw Androcles before a hungry lion. But the lion began to lick his hands instead of killing him. All the people were surprised to see this. Actually, it was the same lion whom Androcles had helped. The king was impressed. He set Androcles free and gave him the lion as a present. So now it's time for the task of the day. Illustrate your favorite character or scene. Children, I would love to hear if you can retell the story in your own words and share a video by the next week. Goodbye. Happy learning.